What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Grow As We Go.
Hello, everyone. It's Ashley.
It's Diana.
It's Fatima.
And this is Angie. And today we're going to be talking about fitness and health. And we have a very special guest, our lovely friend, Diana. Welcome, Diana. So glad to have you.
Hi everyone. I go to Cal State San Marcos. I am an EMBS major student. I am 21. And yeah, I'm here to explain a little bit about my fitness and health journey.
Cool. Wait, what is NBS? So
Yeah,
people who don't know.
Sorry. Environmental studies.
Oh,
Environmental
cool.
studies. Yeah. So, basically, I learned about everything. I learned about sustainability. I learned about climate change, global warming, pollution. Like, it covers everything.
That's so interesting. I love that.
Fun. Another STEM gal. Alrighty, so I guess today we're just going to be talking about like our own fitness journey, our own health journey, and how like our mental health and physical health are intertwined, and the importance of it in general. And I guess starting off with you, Dana, tell us a little bit about like what fitness means to you, like what things that you do, just your overall view, a little brief overview of like your own fitness journey.
Super quick. Well, I feel like I've always been like pretty active as a kid. I think I started getting into like more sports and stuff in high school. I did track and field, and then I also did dance. I did poly. After high school, I didn't continue sports, but even in high school, like in between season, I would always go to the gym, either whether that was with myself or with my friends. And then after graduating high school, I realized that even working out and taking care of my physical and mostly physical. I didn't learn about like mental health till after, but like more physical health was like super important to me. I really enjoyed it. I just like always liked working out. I've always cared about it. And it's just a great like stress reliever. That's the one place one of the places I can get in my zone. And it's just like me. And then I also enjoy going with other people. I think that's quality time to spend with somebody, with like my friends or my sister. Anybody close to me that goes to the gym, like that's just a good time to spend with somebody. Even though you're just with your music on, it's just like you motivate each other to keep going. And yeah.
What made you like start to get into it? Is it just because like you were always like, because I feel like that's always the hardest step is to like put yourself in that situation or in that environment, like have a dedicated like gym life. Like what was like that motivation? Like why did you start going to the gym, I guess?
Okay, so I think it started in track, especially because I'm not sure if a lot of people know, but in track it's not just running. I was a sprinter, so we had a lot of weight training. So during the week there was days that we just weight trained to get stronger, to be able to run faster. So I think I got really comfortable in my high school where I had my coaches and I had like other guys and my friends that knew more, and they were able to teach me the correct form, how to like do workouts. So when I went to the gym, even though I was little at the time, I wasn't intimidated by like other guys like lifting, because I was already used to like, that environment. So it wasn't intimidating. Like I knew what I was doing. Like I already had workouts in mind. So I think it was an easy transition from like going just to like in high school to like just the sport and then going to the gym. I think that's what it was easy to me. Some people are really intimidated at first, especially like girls, I feel like, to go just weight train when there's guys lifting like 10 plates. But that's how I got into it.
Do you see fitness and working out and going to the gym as like a thing for only your health, or do you see it as like a time to have fun? Like you genuinely enjoy, like a sport?
So I think like I totally get you. So I think it like depends on the day, or depends like where I'm at in life. I don't know if that makes sense. So like there's times where I'm going because I want to like lose weight. That's my motivation. And then there's other times where I go because I'm having like I might be bored and I'm like, all right, let me just go to the gym. Or I'm like having a stressful day and I'm like, let me go to the gym. So I always find the gym like my home, my safe place. And like the track, running, lifting weights, I always go towards that. So it just like depends on the day and my mood, like my reasoning. But I also like care about my health. Like I just think it helps me all around, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, do you feel that the gym is like a medicine for you?
Yeah, I think it is. Like it's definitely like a safe place where I can just go and like let everything out.
Yeah, because I feel like I like how you said how sometimes like it's like you don't want to go, but then you go because it's like you're dedicated. So I feel like that's I feel like majority of the time some people like they haven't like, because I feel like you started your passion when you were younger, you know. So for people to just like start it out of nowhere, I feel like it's harder to find that passion, and they probably see going to the gym like as dreadful every single day. I mean, if I can personally speak for myself, like I have probably at my college, I've only probably gone to our gym like once. And it was a joke, you know.
And you were pretty athletic when you were younger, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
For me, and that's crazy because I feel like I'm completely opposite from your story, or maybe similar, but we did different things, because like I've always been active like since I was little. Like I've played softball, and then in high school I did basketball, cross country, and softball again. So I've always been like an athletic person since my childhood. And I feel like it's been harder for me to approach the gym in terms of like, I don't like that type of working out. Like I feel like if I were to enjoy working out, I like working out with other people in terms of like CrossFit or little like having somebody mentor you and coach you like that in a way, but not in a sense of like going to an actual gym facility, if that makes sense. And I've always said that to people. I was like, I feel like I would do good in CrossFit, but I just I've never like looked into it, or I don't think, maybe it's like I think it's like super expensive, so I'm like, do I really want to invest that money? But I don't know, that's always been kind of like my like I don't know where to start, you know.
I feel like the gym definitely, speaking from my own experience, I've gone through a lot of up and downs where I'm very motivated, where I'll switch it up. And I think it's one of those things where you have to allow yourself to let your motivation or things that you do flow and change through the seasons of your life. Like there's some times where I was super motivated and I wanted to lift weights, and that's where I felt like that's just where I was at. And there was other times where I went through a running phase and I was like running miles, like 3 miles a day. And then I had another phase where I wanted to just do yoga and like I think, or spin or classes, like, and I think that's the fun thing about fitness. But it's also, it could be very it's annoying because sometimes, you know, everybody kind of finds their niche. Some people find their niche right away, like Diana, like she knew that she liked weightlifting and like CrossFit, and like she'll do other classes too, but you know what I mean. But it's frustrating to have to like explore that, but it's also, I think, also necessary for you to figure out what it is that you like in your body at the time, but also being okay with that changing. Like you might be weightlifting here now, in a couple months you might be doing yoga because that's just where you're at. And like I think that's what I've learned throughout my fitness journey is to be flexible and let it go where it takes you to, you know?
Yeah, that's why exactly like I was saying, like it just kind of depends sometimes now, like how my day's going, how my mood is, because exactly like I love to like lift weights and like weight lift, but there's times where I'm like super stressed out and I know running is gonna just release all of that, and it's gonna get me tired, and it's gonna just clear my mind. So instead of just weight training that day, I'll just run. So yeah, that is true. I agree completely with Angie.
I think for me, I don't really like weight training. Just because I think there was this one time where I was doing a lot of weights and I was looking like a gorilla, and it traumatized me. So I don't think I was working out well or something, because I was really bulking up, and it got to the point where
You said gorilla.
I don't know, I never went back to weight training. Like I do use weights, but very light ones. But I've always been more of a dancing girl, so I do lean more towards Zumba or like workout videos that involve going to the rhythm of music. But other than that, if anything, besides that, I do a lot of running or hiking. I really enjoy like working out in nature and just cardio. I love sweating. I get super upset with myself if I don't sweat during a workout. And I know I sweat very easily, so if I don't sweat, I know I did not do a good job, you know.
You know what's so funny is that me and Fatih bonded before high school, the summer before high school, right after middle school. Me and Fatih would meet up with our other friend Brittany that was also on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
We would meet up every day at 7 a.m. and go running for like 3 miles. We would run together.
Yeah.
Because we would meet at like this park halfway point, and then we would just run like this dirt path. And it's so funny how like Diana, you said that could be quality time, and for me that was like my way of also seeing our friends and hanging out over the summers. Like would go running in the mornings.
We were
That's
so
why-
committed.
Yeah, we were. We're like, we got high school. We're going to a new high school. Let's go running. That was funny.
It's funny because especially like now that we're older and we're way busier, during the week we don't have time to sometimes just hang out. Like there's not enough time to do that, but there's time, and we make time to go to the gym and work out because like that's one of my priorities as well. It is to like, I know Angie is working out and stuff, so we make that a priority. So we might not have time to hang out together, but like we make time to work out together, so that's still quality time. Like I'm able to see you and stuff and like hang out. That's our little hangout.
You know what, now that I'm thinking, I've recently been doing jump rope every day. Like I've told the girls, they've probably heard me a lot of times. Like, I've just been jumping every day to like different music, and I just find it so fun to me. And I came to this conclusion and Diana kind of helped me came to this conclusion as well, is that like, I feel like before I used to always see working out as like a term of like, oh, you're working out because you need to lose weight, because you want to look like this. But I feel like when you see and acknowledge that working out is more than that, like it's more than losing weight, it's more than wanting to fit a size whatever jeans, I feel like that's when you start to see that working out is like fun, and that working out is good for your body, not just because it's like it's gonna make you look thin or whatever, but I feel like just actually working out, it like affects some neurons in your brain, and it can help you release like just all these things, and it's like there's way more benefits in terms of just like, oh, I'm only doing it to lose weight, if that makes sense. I feel like that's like the big realization that I feel like most people need to have. It's like,
I think it has to do with like having to us a specific outcome, and I think that we can like relate that to any of our like life problems where we want to know that, or we have a specific outcome that we want, like a specific expectation. But I think like you were saying, going with an intention of just enjoying the process of jump roping and enjoying your whole body being able to do that. I think really also you helped me reflect on that as well, because you inspired me to do the jump rope as well, which I inspire our audience to do the same, because it's like super fun.
Join them on the 1,000 jump rope challenge.
Yeah,
No, I love jump rope.
I joined it
jump
too.
rope all the time.
I joined it, and I hula hoop too. Wait at hula hoop.
oh, I can't even hula hoop.
But it's so much fun. Like I think that should be more normalized, to like make working out this type of like approach of like
and
fun.
You know what?
And
it probably is fun. Like Diana said, it's fun. But it's like, I feel like people haven't discovered it yet, that it can be fun.
Yeah.
And you know what's so crazy is I feel like as kids we knew it was fun. Bro, as kids, tell me we weren't running up and down doing all this stuff. Like,
I was not worried about
whatever
how I was
as
looking.
fun.
I was just
Double
going,
dutching.
yeah.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like we had just had so much energy, would view like running and playing tag as fun. Like, oh wow, you want to play tag? Let's run. And then now we're like, you want me to run? Like,
I know.
when did that fun die? Like, when did it die?
It's like, you think I'm gonna run? Like, that's a good one.
And then we're just like, we would just remember just randomly racing your friends.
Yeah.
And I think it's because
when
when growing up, like during PE, they would force us to do it, and they're like, "Hurry up! You got this many times." So I feel like that when somebody's telling what to do and getting mad about it, I think it just triggers us and just like,
It becomes an obligation where you're just like,
Yeah.
ugh.
I think it's going back to like what Ashley is saying, that people might be going to the gym or working out for the wrong reasons. Once you start realizing like the right reasons or what you really want to get out of that workout, then you will start enjoying it. But if you're going to do it like for somebody else, or to like to please somebody else, or or exactly to like get down to a certain size, then it becomes more of a drag. Then you're like forcing yourself to do it, I feel like.
I think fitness and health is for sure a long-term goal, and it should be a lifestyle rather than like I'm only doing this because I want to hit this goal. Once I hit this goal, then I'm done. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's a lifestyle.
I also I think a lot has to do with eating. I think that's one of also the major things people struggle with is our eating lifestyle. Because sometimes I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm only eating one meal a day and expect to lose weight. But in reality, sometimes it just makes you gain weight, Yeah. So I wanted to ask you ladies, like, what's something that really helps you, or like what's any experiences that you've had that did not do you well and what has done you well?
You know what though? I was talking to my friend about this, is that I feel like nowadays everything you see on social media is like, oh, look at my bomb food, look at how bomb this is, look at how bomb my junk food. And obviously you see it, you're like, oh shit, like I kind of want that. So I was telling her, if like we didn't have social media, and it's fine that people share their food, like go ahead, show off your food, you know, I would too. But like, I feel like if we didn't have social media, I probably wouldn't be craving all these foods that are like high in like sugar and high in like all these carbohydrates. So it's like, I feel like social media has kind of shifted our whole generation into seeing something, obviously thinking it looks so good, and then wanting to try it. And I feel like that can lead to like a spiraling of you not taking in the proper nutrients or taking too much of something, you know, because I feel like everything is good in moderation, right?
Yeah.
So I think you're like indulging so much, and it's like, it affects your body negatively, you know.
I didn't even think about that.
So
like,
I was like, I am so mad at social media. Like,
Yeah.
I swear I would be like way in better health if it wasn't for social media.
I've definitely have had like unhealthy habits with food and like with binge eating, and there's even a point in my fitness journey in the past where I calorie counted, but I was very obsessed over the calories. So I would it just created this bad relationship with food. Like I thought that anything that I would intake was a bad thing, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm taking this to. I was just obsessing over it for not in a good way. And now, and I'm calorie counting again but this time very differently, and I'm doing it only for a certain period of time to avoid that, but just to see, because I went on this binge eating phase recently. So I'm trying to figure out like, okay, how does this amount of food feel in my body, just so I can get a gauge of where I was eating and like how much I should be generally eating, but also letting that be flexible. Like,
yeah,
and not obsessing like, oh my god, I'm 1 calorie over, I'm 3, whatever. Like, be flexible, you know. But it's also it's hard when, you know, we're constantly slandered with like all these expectations and like what you should be eating, what you shouldn't be eating. It's just like, it's hard when there's so many external things influencing that.
Yeah, I think for me, weed has definitely not helped me in my fitness journey. There was like a time where I thought that me smoking before I worked out would like put me in the zone, because I like a lot, like my brother, that's how he works out. And so I was like, all right, let me just try that out. And like for like a couple months I did it, but it was like not doing me justice. Like I was just having anxiety over like I was doing it right. And then like
I remember seeing Dyana at the gym.
And then afterwards I get all high on. That was annoying though, because like afterwards I'd get the munchies, and afterwards, like when I'm in that phase, when you're in that phase, it's like, oh, I want that like instant gratification right now, like, oh, that sounds bomb right now. And I'd like, that munchies was the fucking death of me, bro. It was so hard for me to get out of that stage, but now I'm thankfully out of there, and I'm more like conscious of what I put in my system. But I think that like for our people that smoke, I want to know about that. Like, let us know how your journey, if you do that, like it has helped you in your journey of fitness. Because
I've seen some people, and I know some people who like will smoke before the gym, and I'm like, I feel like I would be super self-conscious, or I don't know, I just get really lazy.
Yeah, it's one thing you don't want to anymore.
Yeah.
I think for me, food, I've paid way more attention to my body and what foods give me energy. And me and Angie have like talked about this a lot, but it's crazy how before, my mom is like Mexican, so she's cooked Mexican food my whole entire life. It wasn't until a couple, like 2 years ago, when I was in CrossFit, that I had a certain goal, and it was a 6 weeks challenge, and they gave me like a list of foods I was able to eat. They gave me a calorie count and to reach my goal in the like amount of 6 weeks. And it wasn't until then that I was cooking my food like every single day. I was meal prepping. I was eating vegetables like as I should, as everyone should. I was drinking the amount of water I should be, and my body felt so good. I was waking up at 4:30 in the morning, being at the gym at 5 in the morning, working out, going through my whole day feeling energized. And it was a lot of it. It was, I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard like 80-20. It's 80% like what you eat, 20% the gym. And I 100% agree with that, because when I eat light and when I eat as I should, like the amount of calories I should be eating, and not just only that, it also like matters like your vegetables and like your greens and your nutrients. Yeah, your good protein, you know. My body and my performance at the gym and throughout the day is times 10. Like it does not compare when if I and I do allow myself to eat like fast food or at restaurants.
Yeah.
But right away, especially when I'm eating good for a good amount of time, and then I do have those days where I eat out, like I recognize it right away in my body. Like if I eat chips, too much cookies, it makes me feel very sluggish, heavy. I feel lazy, and that's just something I've realized recently throughout like a few years. When I was in high school, like I never felt like that. I didn't gain weight. I didn't pay attention. It wasn't until recently that I learned more about, okay, what foods make me feel a certain way, like what foods, and even though I like it, I like try to hold myself back because I know the feeling I'm going to have afterwards, and it's not worth it to me.
That reminded me of the point of like how our bodies change from high school to now. Like after high school, I was like eating, expecting to be like how I was in high school, but like little did I fucking find out that now my body is not the same.
Man, I wish I could go back to high school days where I ate as much as I wanted. If I was craving In-N-Out at midnight, I would not think twice about going. It was just anything. I was so carefree, which I probably shouldn't have either, because I know if I would have been eating healthier, my body would have appreciated me a lot
that
more.
made me realize like what happened to me. Like I feel like since I feel like I've always ate like regular, like the way that my mom grew up. Like she wouldn't really feed us a lot of like fried food, or we'd only have water at the house. So and she only did like proteins and vegetables. So it wasn't like a lot, like not even tortillas. Like I've never really liked tortillas. So I feel like I've always ate like okay, but of course I love ice cream. Like that's like my favorite thing ever. But then like I was also like in sports, so I've always ate like the right amount of food for me to, because of the workouts that I was doing. And so, and of course, I thought that it would be good to be eating the same lifestyle that I had when I went to college. And let me tell you, freshman 15 hit me like a truck. It was like more like freshman 30. Like it was so bad. Like I don't know. I think it was also like the transition, but like you just start to like eat and you're like, oh shit, like I have dining dollars. Let me just eat a pint of ice cream every single day as dinner. Like it was so bad. And so then from there, I started to realize, I was like, oh my God, like I can't be eating the same way that I was eating, or maybe even worse than I was eating, and then not work out and expect for myself to be looking the same way. You know what I mean? And also like your body changes like from high school to college. Like obviously it's normal, like we're people, our bodies are always changing. But I feel like that was a major factor that affected the way that I looked, because I wasn't being mindful of what I was intaking, and then not working. Like I was so dumb. Like why did I think that my body would stay the same, But
I know that is crazy. Yeah, in high school with me too, like I would eat anything, and like I'm like, oh, I can lose 5 pounds in a week. Like it's so easy, and I would be like
eating chips, hot Cheetos.
Yeah, no, oh my God, y'all were all the time. That like the munchies, literally. And then like
that's so true.
We look for the person selling chips, and then we all rush
all the time.
With the sports bag?
For the dollar.
I know, it was so bad.
But I lost weight so easily in high school, and I was like, oh, it's so hard to even lose 5 pounds in a month.
No,
and like before, it was like 5 pounds in a week, and I used to expect that same thing for me to happen like now. But even though I'm still young, like it's not the same. My body's not the same as when I was 15. So yeah,
I'm like,
I cannot imagine when I get to
like
when
30.
30. Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that until right now.
They always told my uncle, he was always super skinny, super fast metabolism. And then my dad was like, wait till you're 30. That's what happened to me. He was like, no. Like I like fast metabolism, bro. Like he gained a good 30, 40 pounds when he hit 30s. Literally right when he hit 30s. So.
And I literally think, I'm like, we're in our prime years. Our bodies are in our prime years in the terms of like what they're capable of. Like we're in a really good time where we could set a really good firm foundation so that way we're healthy by the time we hit like we start if you choose to have kids, when
Yeah.
life gets a little bit slower, when your organs start to like, you know what I mean? Like we're in a really good, healthy place, and like I think we should really value that. Like
Yeah.
Take advantage
really
of
work
it.
to take advantage of that, so that way it sets us up not for tomorrow, not for a year from now to like fit into these genes, but so that way like when we're 35, 40 or whatever, like we're still functionable, bro. Because
Yeah, I
like
think long-term.
diabetes, all these things, like all these sicknesses are real. And like I feel like as young kids, we don't really realize that what we're
Yeah.
eating now is going to affect us
In the long
down
run.
the line, like our bodies, you know?
And I was just talking about this with my brother the other day, and we were talking about how the people around us really influence us on like our fitness
100%.
and our eating habits. Like, if you're with somebody that loves to like eat snacks and like loves to eat out and
That's
doesn't
where
like
you're
to
gonna
work
find
out,
yourself.
then you're gonna get more lazy. Whereas you like gravitate to somebody that enjoys going to the gym and like likes cooking healthy and stuff, you guys are gonna like feed off each other. And I think that's so
Yeah.
important, and I see that in my friends too. Like mostly all of my like you guys, like we've always acknowledged that, we've always had these conversations, and we've always like pushed each other, exactly like we've always just done that with each other. So I think that's why we're also like really good friends and close, just
Yeah.
because we all have like that goal. And then even though
Yeah.
sometimes we like
Deviate from it a little
yeah,
bit. Like,
exactly. We slack off. Like we're there. Like, hey, she started working out again. Like, all right, let's start hitting the gym again.
accountability. I
Yeah.
feel like that's
Yeah,
the-
yeah, definitely.
What I love the most too is that we all do it our own way too. Like even though it's like, all right, she's doing this, well, I'm gonna do this, but you know, we still keep like, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying it's hard to find, because it's like one thing for you and your friends, you know, to say like, okay, like it's time for us to work out. But then if you slack off, you have to expect or like hope that she isn't feeling like slacking off. So you get up, but then it's like when you're like not feeling great and then they want to slack off too. It's like, okay, well then let's just go eat fast food, you know? So it's like you have to find like the perfect person that you can kind of hold each other accountable for. And I feel like that's the hardest part, because
Yeah.
you know, what if like you're both lazy? Like who's gonna hold you guys accountable?
Dude.
You know?
And I
I feel like that used to be us in high
school.
school, me and Angie.
Yeah.
Because we used to work out together, or we used to like FaceTime or something.
Dude,
right?
I forgot about that. And me, I feel like I was more of the we were doing like the T25 videos.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Crazy.
We did that too. I
And
still
I-
have it saved on my computer.
Yeah. And I remember I'm more okay, I'm not it's not a bad thing to admit, but
No, I feel like me and you are the same type of person, though. I feel like that's why it was kind of like, if I wasn't down, you're like, okay, I'm not down to do it. And then like if you were down, I was like, oh, guess we're not doing it today.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I feel like I'm very much if I'm not in my and I'm trying to break that, but I feel like if someone be like, no, I'm tired, I'd be like, yeah, you're right, we're tired. Like instead of being like, no, let's get up, let's go. Like Diana is more like, no, let's get up, let's go. And I'm like,
No, yeah.
it's early, I'm tired, the sun's like really bright, I don't know, like it's weird, it's raining, I don't know, like we shouldn't go, you know, like
Like the weather's bad, it's a sign we shouldn't work out.
it's a sign of raining.
Definitely Angie. That's Angie right there.
And that could be me too, so I feel like it was just not.
She'd be
But
like,
if
"My
someone's like
horoscope
hyped, like,
told
no,
me to
let's go,
stay
I'm like,
inside."
yeah. Like, so I'm very much like, I see the energy
yeah.
that's given to me instead of making the energy, which is not always a good thing. So we're trying to find a balance still.
It's a work in progress.
I wanted to talk about the times that we are on a good run and then like we fall and then we feel like a shit. Like, how do you guys deal with that? Are you
No, like literally fall? Like,
Are you
no,
talking
like
metaphorically.
No, like you're on a high, you're working out, you're eating good, and then you stop out of nowhere, and then the next day you're like, fuck, why the fuck did I like how is that with you guys? How do you deal with that?
Oh my goodness, that was like, I think during the pandemic, I don't know, it hit me really hard. Cause I was like, I was on a like year streak where I was like really consistent. I was feeling good. We were like during summer, like me, Fatih, Diana, like we were all going to the gym. Remember when we were all going to the gym at 24?
We would line
in
up
there
on
for
the
like
track.
2-3 hours. It was like
Play
6 of us, 7
basketball,
of
play
us,
basketball. We'd be at the
mobbing.
gym for 3 hours in the morning.
And we were like, we were really, really fit. And then I continued that. And then once the pandemic hit, it was really hard to like keep at it. So I think the transitioning going back, I mean, I've been going to the gym and trying to eat better for the past couple of months now again. But it's been really hard. It's really hard. And now I've told myself to like never try to get, yeah, let myself go again. That because it's so much harder to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, you can give yourself a couple rest days, especially if you're sick or whatever. But
if you're on a vacation, it's your birthday and you want to go
exactly,
out, you know?
exactly. But it's super hard once you stop going to the gym for like 2, 3, 4, 5 months, because then you have to start back from like square one. You can't just be lifting the same as much. Your endurance is not going to be as high. So it's very hard to get back. So that's definitely a challenge.
And what sucks too is that, for example, like I did lose like 22 pounds, but something I didn't really consider is that I could gain weight much faster than I did before, just because of like there's like this all this scientific biological like explanation for it. But yeah, if you lose a good amount of weight, you're gonna gain that. If you let yourself go, you're gonna gain back that weight like super much faster than like before. So I think it was opposite for me during the pandemic. It helped me realize and get back on track and just focus more on my health. And that's when all the changes happened. And I did was kind of slacking off, I think last October, and I did gain like 7 pounds, and I was like, oh no, like no, I can't do this. So I just put myself back on track and just like I was like, no, like I also try not to be too hard on myself. I just try to be like more consistent with my eating, because that's something that was very bad that I was doing. I wasn't eating like the amount of foods a day. For example, I was only eating twice a day, and it wasn't even like a full meal. So that's what was like, it was causing me to either gain weight or not help me lose weight. Yeah, just being consistent is just very important. And it's not even for like now, it's for like the rest of your life.
I guess like my follow-up question would be like, what motivates you? Like, how do you get that kick in where you're just like, all right, let's go. All right, it's okay. All right, let's go. Is it like, what do you tell yourself?
Pre-workout.
What's your routine? Pre-workout?
Pre-workout. Just pop one of those scoops in your water bottle and you're gonna have to go.
I think for me, because I've also went on a fat derail because of the pandemic, like and that's something I'm still trying to work through, and honestly it's been really hard, mentally, physically. It's taken a big toll on my self-confidence, on how I feel about myself on a lot of different levels. I think what my motivation to getting back to where I used to be, or not even where I used to be, because obviously I'm a complete like, you know, I'm not trying to be where I used to be. I'm trying to be a better me. What helped me reach that was hitting like a really shitty rock bottom. And I'm not saying that you need to hit a rock bottom to hit that motivation, but for me in this moment, what motivated me was knowing like I'm nowhere near where I want to be.
I think what motivates me, like really, is just because I know how it feels like when I am eating good and working out. I know that feeling, and it's like one of the best feelings. So I think that motivates me, because when I stop working out, and I have like throughout the years, like I have periods like my ups and downs,
like normal,
and
you know?
and I miss it, and that's what motivates me to go back. And my family's really active, my friends, you guys are really active, so it realigns me again. Like the people around me and myself realign, because like at my true core, I know what makes me feel good, I know my needs, and that's what motivates me to continue and go forward again.
I think personally for myself, it really, you know, this is the first time in like 4 years that I've been consistent with working out, and it took a toll on me, because I was like, but then I feel like I wasn't working out, but I feel like I was a little bit, even though I'm a college student and our diets are a whole type of messed up, I feel like I was a little bit more conscious about what I was eating, and I was like, it's like, damn, I'm eating hella bad right now, or like you just can tell within the way how you feel yourself. Like it's more about it's not about like your genes not feeding you, but it's more about like how you feel inside, you know. It's like you feel lazy, or you, like Dyana was mentioning, it's like your whole like body is just shifted, and you just know that that's not you. So it's been really hard for me to find like a consistent thing to, like, you know, to be consistent with working out or being athletic again, you know. And hopefully like I can incorporate it more into my lifestyle, but I feel like it's for sure like a work in progress. And I feel like once I feel, I hope that once I get to that point, I feel like I'll be able to say like, oh, it was this that helped me. Because for right now, I don't have an answer of like what motivates me. I think, I don't know, maybe just like trying to go back to how I used to be, but obviously like not look the same, but have the same lifestyle. I don't know if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
The same like feeling. The same feeling. Yeah. I think we can all relate to the feeling. And I like what Angie said about like touching up on confidence. I think feeling good gives you so much more confidence, and it's just not like confidence in if I can pull girls or guys. Not it just makes you feel confident in like good what you're wearing. When you talk to somebody, you feel good. You have that energy. You're more uplifted.
And then you can like wake up early and like have a better day and lifestyle.
Definitely,
and stuff.
that
go
gives
on
you
a hike
all
and not be
exactly.
Yeah.
If you're not, then you're gonna wake up at like 2 p.m., stay in bed, like like it's just that plays a huge role. And I think another reason is that you want that confidence. You want to be exactly. We're 21 and 21, 22. 23. We're like at our prime years, so we want that confidence, and so I think that also plays a big part.
Yeah. And back to what Dana was saying is that like it makes you feel good, it makes you feel confident, and it's like I feel like that's why the numbers on the scale doesn't really matter at all as long as you feel confident. So it's like you can't be so obsessive over a certain weight or a certain goal number, because like what if you get there and you don't feel confident, but then like you're another number and you're like, oh, I feel good as heck, so it's like I think we need to stop obsessing over what the number on their scale is and focus more on how we feel about ourselves first.
I think also too what I've been learning through this journey, and especially reminiscing on who I used, like where I was at before, is I started to realize like, wow, I was in really great shape before and I still like hated the way I look. I was still completely unsatisfied, and I'm tired of feeling like in this unsatisfied state with myself. Like I want to be able to love myself entirely no matter what phase that I am, like whether I'm doing really well and I like I'm fitting or whatever, or what fitting in a size 6 or whatever the hell the case may be, or when I'm not. Like I think that just goes like just loving your body at every phase.
I think that's so important, because I feel like I've fallen short where I'm only like happy when I look a certain way or when I do a certain thing. But I like how you said like loving yourself even if you're in that shitty like little dip in your life, whatever that may be, and like loving those roles, loving however you look, and then like having the confidence to like, or the courage to get up the next morning and like take that first step to get that jump rope, hopefully join our little challenge.
And then and I used to think that like, oh, because if I love myself at this phase, that means I'm comfortable where I'm at and I don't want change. But it's not that. It's just being able to honor your body, honor who you are, and be treating it like it's a sacred temple, and like
at all stages.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think this is a perfect time to wrap up this conversation and go into our Discover Her segment. So what is something that you all took away from this conversation?
I think what I took away is that no matter what you're doing, whatever you're doing, I think it's most important to stay active all the time, regardless if you're doing it to lose weight. I think you should stay active for the better of your health and for of your future. And I think we should be cognizant of the effects that this will have for our future generations, but it's all a work in progress, and it's okay if you haven't found your place yet. Like soon it will come to you. And I feel like just as long as you're doing little steps, going on a 5-minute walk or something, that's still something that you're doing to make yourself feel better inside as well. And physically, I guess that's a little positive thing, but I feel like it's mostly how you feel inside.
Yeah, you literally said that on the dot. I definitely agree, because I think being healthy with yourself, with what you eat, with how active you are, and it doesn't mean that you have to do like a huge 3-hour workout a day, it doesn't have to be like that. Like how you said, exactly, you can do like a 5-minute walk, and you can progressively add like another 5 minutes the next day or every week, or just start incorporating more vegetables in your meals and start cutting off a little bit more of the fatty fried stuff, and it's okay to treat yourself. don't back away from treating yourself. It's okay. But something that I've learned is not to overdo it when you treat yourself. Because I would definitely overdo it when I would cheat, But, have fun with it too. Don't make it a dread. Don't dread it. Have fun with it. find the fun in it, you know?
My what I learned from this, and if you are going through your starting again or starting for the first time your fitness journey, is to give yourself a lot of grace and patience and allow yourself to freely discover what it is that sits right on your body. And if that's running, if that's yoga, if that's weightlifting, if that's cycling, allow that to interchange with the different seasons in your life, and just exactly could have fun with it.
So my takeaway from this conversation is definitely making this physical and mental health journey a lifestyle, and also really paying attention to what your body needs that day, and really paying attention to what works best for you, because what works best for someone else may not be for yourself. So just pay attention really to your own needs and your own goals, and do it for the right reasons.
Yeah, I think also for the people that are struggling to get back on their journey, I think taking it one step at a time, as Ashley said, 5 minutes a day, or even taking it day by day, and don't overwhelm yourself with the whole picture of it, and just see what you would do that day, and pick, like, washing dishes, I don't know, move your body in a certain way that you haven't, or you'll be able to discover yourself like more. But
squat to your room.
Have fun with it. But I think everybody, said it to the T.
Do some jump ropes. Join me in my jump rope challenge.
Tag us.
Your takeover Thursday.
Watch me jump for 1,000 jumps.
Send us, if you do the jump rope, send us a video. We'll feature you on takeover Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm
Join
actually
us.
really good at jump ropes, so.
Wow, teach me your ways, please. I suck.
Alrighty, thank you all for joining us today, and thank you, Dyana. We loved having you, and thank you for bringing your awesome insight into this. You added such a great part of our conversation. For more content, head over to our Instagram, Grow As We Go Podcast, and our YouTube channel at Grow As We Go Podcast. We hope you all enjoyed your dose of growth for today, and remember to always strive for growth. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.